2023, I was at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. A month later, I wasn't able to go to the toilet alone. Hey, my name is Jint, I'm 21 years old and I have myalgic encephalomyelitis, better known as chronic fatigue syndrome. When I first got sick, I searched for someone who would just tell me the truth. Not hope, not comfort, just the honest version. So this is the video I needed back then. Warning, this is not a success or recovery story. There were a lot of dark moments and there are mentions of suicidal thoughts. But my story is not all dark. There were a lot of really beautiful and hopeful moments. And even in my darkness there was happiness. I am not a doctor or trying to sell you anything. This is just my story.
After recording this video a few weeks back, I got into a really bad crash and I'm still in it. Please know that if you are sicker than me or are able to do more than me, your disease is just as valid and your pain is also real. Please remember that.
Let's move back in time to when I was 11 years old. I got a staphylococcus infection. I got better, but ever since then I've been weaker than my peers. I got easily tired, chest pains, muscle pains, sore throats. But it was just me, Jint, who needed more rest. As I got older, these symptoms got worse. Doctors thought that it were just panic attacks because they couldn't find anything. I didn't talk about it with anyone because I felt so ashamed of my own limitations, of my body. 2023 came. I was 18 years old and I found a passion in making videos. I loved to play guitar, to sim race, to go to concerts. I played guitar for hours on a day. But the symptoms had only gotten worse. I had to take paracetamol on a daily basis because the stomach pain got so bad. The headaches, the muscle pain, the sore throats, the brain fog that I didn't even know at the time. It got so bad. I got sick with a really bad flu almost every weekend. And my mental health, it just completely crashed. It was almost as if my brain just couldn't handle the physical pain anymore. It eventually got so bad that I don't remember entire work days. Non-stop panic attacks. I remember one day being so sick, nauseous, and I just couldn't handle any stimulation. So I just walked away from work. I just couldn't handle anything anymore. I still didn't talk about it with anyone. Doctors still said that it was mental. We did a ADHD and autism test, both negative. Still no explanation. I pushed through and through until that day. 23 July 2023. Exactly 3 years ago. I had an internship and I came home and I felt so ill, like so often. I went to rest and the next morning I just couldn't get up anymore. My legs didn't work, I was so nauseous, headaches, chest pain. It was the worst flu I had ever had. It was... I can't even explain anymore how bad it was. It was... Everything hurt, light hurt, sound hurt. A week or two later, my parents found me on the bedroom floor. I wanted to take a shower and I had passed out. They had to call an ambulance and the medics, they said that it was just stress. weeks passed and I still hadn't told my friends that I was sick. The doctor said that I had a burnout and that the doctor said that I had a burnout and that I should just do fun things. So yeah, that's what I did. I pushed through, I did my hobbies, I played guitar, I sim raced. And I only got worse. Way worse. I eventually invited some friends over. I played guitar, I did my hobbies. I masked my pain. I felt so lonely and like people didn't get me. I blamed others, I blamed the world, I was so angry and I blamed others for my pain and but I never even tried to explain to others what was going on. I wasn't able to. So how could people be there for me? I pushed people away. I was so anxious, so avoidant, and just in so much pain. In October 2023, I got my ME/CFS diagnosis. And I'm so happy, so happy. Finally a diagnosis, finally a cure, right? My internist recommended graded exercise therapy and cognitive behavior therapy. For those who don't know, it has been proven that this makes ME/CFS worse. The cells that create energy don't really work. So pushing through, it doesn't build tolerance, it just damages the cell more. And because of that, it can also damage other parts of the body. 5 months of pushing through, and I just couldn't go anymore. All those months I ran on pure adrenaline. I felt already like hell, but the worst had yet to come. The realization that there was no proven cure, that they didn't know the cause, and that I was truly alone. It finally had a name, but it also came with the realization that this was it. During this time, I tried to get financial support, but the social benefits organization in the Netherlands does not believe in ME/CFS. They say that it's mental, even though the reality doesn't prove that at all. The contrary, it is proven that it is physical. At the end of 2023, till somewhere at the end of 2024, I was in a completely dark room. I couldn't stand any sound, any light. I couldn't eat. And I often wasn't even able to go to the toilet alone. I was in so much pain, so much headaches, muscle pain, nausea. Almost every day I thought that I wouldn't see tomorrow. In this time I was often only able to take a shower once every 3 weeks. Not because I didn't want to, because I smelled so bad, but I was just physically unable to. I told my parents that if by 2027, 4 years after getting sick and having tried every possible cure, I would want to commit assisted suicide. I was not depressed. It is basically a reversed depression. I want to do things so badly. My brain wants to do things so badly. I get excited about things. Especially back then, I made plans for the future. I still have plans for the future. But my body just can't do things. My body is just too ill. This time was incredibly dark. I was so angry, so sad, and in so much grief. I found this letter I had written during this time. I will show it in screen. It is in Dutch, but I will translate it. I'm extremely tired. but not sleepy tired. The feeling is almost impossible to explain. I want to sleep so badly, but I just can't. It feels like I'm at war with myself. My body wants to sleep, but it won't allow itself to sleep. And when I finally can sleep, I wake up even more exhausted and sicker. I desperately want to do things, but I simply can't. And when I do manage to, I need a week to recover from it. I find myself wondering more and more often if it would be better if I were no longer here. Is it my fault that I'm sick? Should I have believed in a god or something? What is the point of getting up in the morning if I'm just going to feel like shit anyways? What is the point if I can't do anything anyway? What is the point, seeing as I'm alone anyway, and everyone has abandoned me? Disclaimer, again, I'm not a doctor and I'm not promoting anything. In the beginning of 2024, I started a program at the Dutch healthcare clinic, the Vermoeidheidskliniek. These guys are one of the most knowledgeable organizations regarding ME/CFS in the Netherlands. I got a second opinion and I indeed had ME/CFS, but also POTS. For those who don't know, POTS is a disease on its own, but many people with ME/CFS also have POTS. It's a disease in which your heart rate goes crazy when standing up, and this can cause all kinds of symptoms, from headaches, brain fog, nausea, fatigue. This clinic taught me what pacing was and how to do it correctly. This helps with avoiding PEM. PEM is the crash that comes after doing an activity. Doing less, it sounds so simple, but it is so devastating and I still struggle with it to date. Avoiding PEM, it helped a lot with getting out of a crash. But it didn't make my base symptoms less severe. In the middle of 2024, I started with low-dose naltrexone, LDN, and with propranolol for my POTS. It didn't help at all with my energy, but it did help with the symptoms like headaches, nausea, brain fog. I was able to eat again, shower more frequently. The LDN, it really gave me hope for a better tomorrow, but mostly it helped me to stop worrying about tomorrow. I used to make a lot of plans. I used to stress about getting better, but I was finally able to focus on myself, reflect on the past, and focus on my mental health. 2025 came and I started with B12 injections twice a week. These again helped a lot. Again, not with my energy, but with all the other symptoms. This meant for me that for the first time in 2 years, I had the mental energy to have contact with people again. I reached out to old friends, but sadly those bridges were burned, mostly because of me. But I also noticed that contact with people from my past, it triggered me a lot. It reminded me of someone I couldn't be anymore. I was so scared and I didn't know where to start. I knew that I didn't want to be in a chronically ill headspace, but I was so afraid that healthy people wouldn't understand, that I would be alone forever, and that I would die alone. But then I met her. After a few weeks of replying to Reddit posts about searching for friends, I reacted to her and we just vibed. She lived on the complete other side of the globe, but our connection really just grew and I felt so safe and seen with her. She reacted so deeply empathic and caring about my disease. I never had to explain it. We didn't really talk about my disease because it was just okay. She truly made me feel so seen. She means so much for me and she has such a special place in my heart. Because I was so skeptical of people understanding it. of being judged. But she changed that. She made me feel seen, supported, and understood. She also gave me faith in other people again. And the contact was just online, but I felt safer than with people in real life. Why am I saying this? Because I know the fear of ending up alone, of not being understood, of not meeting people anymore. But I can tell you, you will meet someone who will get you, who will understand your disease, who will be there for you. She got the best out of me. I was still severely ill, and being in a better headspace didn't fix that. I was just still as ill. But she did help me accept my disease, be less anxious, less angry, and accept myself. Not as the guy with the disease, but as Yint. I always had a passion for making videos, and ever since I got sick, I wanted to make a video about CFS. With her support, I finally found the courage, and I finally dared to record and upload it. And in October of 2025, I uploaded my first video about CFS. Multiple videos followed. I want to tell you something that isn't about being sick with CFS, because I am so much more than just my disease. I love making videos so much, and I also really love comics. So after months of doubting myself, of being afraid and ashamed and feeling like an imposter for being sick, and then potentially uploading a video unboxing comics, I finally did it anyways. I uploaded a comic unboxing, and I uploaded more and more, and it felt so amazing to be able to do something I was so passionate about, even though I was sick. Even some artists I look up to, they saw my videos, they reposted it, they liked it, and it was so amazing. It might look like I'm healthy when you see one of my videos, but sadly there is a lot of suffering connected to those videos. I still completely depend on my parents. I'm unable to leave my house and my bed for most of the time, but I'm proud of who I am today. I'm proud of what I'm making. And even though I have this disease, I can still find joy in my life. Conclusion. This is my life. I still feel like shit. I'm unable to leave my house or my bed for most of the time. I'm still severely ill. I haven't had a hug from someone outside of my family for 3 years. And the thing I said about wanting to commit assisted suicide after 4 years of being sick. How do I feel about that now, since that would be next year? I don't know what next year will look like. I don't know if I will be here, but what I do know is that I made this video. And maybe someone watched it. Maybe that someone is you. And that is enough for today. Take care of each other. You are not alone.